This is perfect timing, thank you. I know many of you are going to do a presentation next Tuesday, is that correct? Okay, are you all excited or nervous or it's just a test, just need to be done? Just get it over with. Okay, okay. So we want to make sure that you get over with it happily and very satisfactorily, okay? So thank you for coming to the presentation workshop, and of course, I want to thank the panelists for working very hard to share their insights with you, and so on. I know, sometimes for a lot of people, presentation is kind of a challenge, but it's also the best time of your project, right? I always say that after you finish everything, you want to share your treasure with the rest of the world, right? So are you excited? You said I got great product and I want the whole world to know about it, right? Okay, so the panelists are going to tell you, exactly what you can do about it and what kind of things you could improve to make sure that you get a wonderful presentation, okay? I'll be the moderator for today, and I want to introduce you 4 panelists. The first one is Professor Scott Shippey. He will be here in about 15 minutes because he has other commitments, so he'll be late a little bit. Also, Professor Christina Pugh. She's from English department, okay? And Professor Hussein Darabi from Mechanical and Industrial Engineering. Thank you. And then the fourth presenter is Chen Shi. He's an honors college student. Some of you may know him. He won the award for the Life Science Research Division for last year's Student Research Forum. So you can ask his suggestions about how he did it to succeed, and then better than other ones, and so on. Okay, so we are very happy to have the professors and also Shi Chen, the representative from the Honors College, to kind of share their insight with you. So let me just quickly mention a few things. You'll be learning to translate what you have written in a paper to a poster or other presentation. So it really is an interesting translation process, right? You have been sticking your head in front of the computer, working so hard to writing and so on. So now is the time you're going to translate their work to share with the world, and also to showcase what you have already accomplished so far to the audience. And all you need is focused thinking, a little bit of clear expression, and also an ability to engage your audience, okay? So exactly how you are going to do about it, I'm going to ask the panelists to share their insights and expert opinions with all of you, okay? Okay, so the first we will ask Professor Darabi to give a presentation about presentation. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you. So basically, what I want to tell you here is kind of general. There are some differences for engineering and especially mathematics and experiments in your papers and research. So I will mention to those, and I'll show you some samples. So these are the different topics that I'd like to discuss today. One is, why do we actually need a poster? So what's the objective behind the poster? And then what are the success factors that a successful poster should carry? And I'll show you some templates and examples. So one thing that we should remember is that a poster, you can show anything that you want on the poster. Of course, in your case, you have your research and that's what you want to present. There is a very important property of a poster, and that's that you must make sure that if someone passes by your poster, there's something there that make that person stop and look at your poster. So if you have a poster with a bunch of formula, mathematical, especially in engineering, I have seen that. That is actually the key to failure. They don't want to have that. The poster should not have those. And those are actually things that you usually give in your paper, or if you have a thesis, or whatever detailed report you have, you should carry those things there. They shouldn't come in your poster because again, those are not good for the poster. And remember, poster is also a way for you to learn, because it's not always about audience who look at your poster that they are learning from you. you also learn from them, and that only happens when you can carry your idea to them first and say, this is what I did, and then if they understand, they say, oh, why you didn't do this one? And that is a learning for you. So it's an exchange of ideas. It's not just one way. So if your poster is good, it definitely triggers discussion. That's for sure. Now, so if you look at the success factors, the first factor is to follow up all the instructions. Make sure you know them. In your case, these are the instructions for this year, and I'm sure you have seen them before. You like the poster size, how much time you have to present, and you can find them from the website. So if there is instruction that your poster must have this size or it should not exceed from this, that's what you need to follow. So that's very clear. Now the other success factor is about the title. In my experience, I think the title is the most important part of your poster because that's the first thing that people see, and it should be big. The orientation, of course, landscape is the one that you have to do this year, and so the title must be very concise. It should be an effective. It doesn't have to be a sentence. And I have some examples I'll show you. And make sure you do not typeset the title in all capital letters because they cannot read it. It's very hard to read that if it's all capital. And then you cannot, of course it's not, they don't know if this is like an acronym or it's like a word, real word that you want to use. So it would be confusion. So that's another, and I have seen actually some posters that are all capital types, and I have seen people having problems with reading them. Also, if you want to use words like of, from, with, make sure you use small words for them, so it distinguishes them from the main one. The next success factor is having the right amount of details. You do not want to use a lot of text in a poster, especially for engineering applications. You usually have charts, graphs, and pictures, photos. Those are much more better, much better than using text. Of course, I'm not saying that just have like a painting there. No, you must have text to accompany the picture. But having a lot of text and no picture, that is not recommended. I'm sure all of you probably have been involved in some experiments if you're in engineering, and putting a picture of your experiment makes a lot of sense. If you have a test bed, putting that there makes a lot of sense. So people see that you have done it practically, you have experienced that. That would be excellent. Again, this is, I mentioned to this, do not include mathematical proofs and formula. That is not, because people need like probably 6-7 hours to understand the proofs, and you have only 5 minutes. So it's useless if you do them there. Poster flow is another success factor that you should consider. You must start, I mean, it's not really a must, it's something that really common. Even the problem, the motivation. If you look at many posters, that's what they do, the objective. What is the objective and what type of problem you're trying to solve? What the problem motivation. So that's another one. And then you can go to other sections, give descriptions of the method of attack, we call it. What is the method you're using to solve the problem? Have you used some approximation techniques, or have you done some experiments? If you did statistical analysis, what type of method you use to do that? And so anything that you have done, make sure you write that. A poster should be very simple, so someone who doesn't know your area can understand something, and it should also give some detailed information if someone is in your area, so they know what you did. But again, no proof, no stories, like long stories there. The poster style is another thing that I would suggest. You use the right style. The best thing is to look at the posters that were successful and follow what they did. If you don't use sentences, it's okay. You can use sentences, but I wouldn't suggest too much of them. So I would say bullet points, those are good. Again, using graphics, that makes a lot of sense. And do not make very crowded posters, because again, it's very hard to follow them. This is one template for a poster that actually has been used by many people. You can have like multiple columns, 2, 3, 4 columns, but as you can see, a lot of pictures and graphics are involved. And the flow, you start with, the different, there are actually, so the first section should define the topic and show the importance. That's what we have written here. And then the second might serve as a number of purpose, background information about your problem. And you can go on and make sure that usually toward the end, the results and the outcome of your research must be very clear. But when you did this research, what happened? That should be very concise, and it should be written there, because that's many people actually look at. When I go to, I watch a poster, the first thing I read the title, and then I read the motivation. Why do we need this research? And then I jump to the results immediately. I want to know how exciting your results is. And if your results are very exciting, then I read the details. And if I feel that it's not, because I have a very limited time, so I don't want to spend time on something which is not exciting. Again, these two parts, in my opinion, are very, very important, the motivation and the outcome. And then the details, of course, those are the second part. And I also have the sample poster.
Yes.
Can I just open it? So this is a poster from the University of Illinois. Presentations. It's a very typical poster, and this is a, if you want, you can ask, we can send you like this one. But as you can see, again, the objectives, the results are down here, the pictures and the title. So, and you can see again the photo of the test bed that they used. He used to do the experiment. So. This is a sample poster. I don't want to take more time here. We can send it to you and we can look at it later. All right. So do we ask for a question later? Okay. All right.